Hello everyone, and happy Monday and happy Memorial Day if you were in the US. In today's video, I'll be deep cleaning my kitchen top to bottom, cleaning places that haven't been cleaned in an embarrassingly long amount of time. So if you need a little bit of motivation to get some things done if you're off work today, then stick around and get some cleaning done with me. So the kitchen, as far as like messiness goes, actually wasn't too bad, so I didn't have a whole lot to clean up there, so that made it a little bit easier. But I will say I worked on getting this kitchen clean for probably a solid 4 hours, not straight, but like total, and I was so tired afterwards. If this is your first time here, a special welcome to you. I'm so glad you found me today. My name is Michelle and my family and I live in Georgia. And yes, you may notice that I'm wearing an Ohio State shirt. I was born and raised near Cincinnati, so I am a Buckeyes fan and I love Reds baseball, Bengals football. Let me know down in the comments where you're from and which sports teams you love. So like I mentioned earlier, we live in Georgia and the pollen in the spring and summer down here is just crazy bad. So the windows were so dirty. It might be hard to tell on camera, but there are handprints from the kids going in and out, nose prints from the dogs, and like I mentioned, the pollen. So there was just like a fine layer of yellow dust coated on there. Probably it will be covered in pollen again by tomorrow, but at least for the time being for this video, it's clean. I'm just using a mixture of Pine Sol and water in a spray bottle to clean the shelves in the fridge. They weren't too bad, at least not as bad as they've been before, so it was a pretty quick and easy job. So now I'm just putting items back in the fridge and organizing them a little so we can actually see what we have. And obviously we need to go grocery shopping because we have like nothing in the fridge, but at least it's clean. I ended up using a few different methods to try to get our microwave clean. I started out with the Dawn Power Wash, which worked okay. It got like all the loose junk out pretty easily, but there was still some caked on spots. So I decided to try something that I've seen other people do, but I have never actually done it before. So I filled a measuring cup with water and vinegar and nuked it in the microwave for about 5 minutes or so. The idea is that the steam and vinegar will loosen anything that's like really stuck on there, making it easy to wipe away. But honestly, for whatever reason, this did not work for me. So I went for my tried and true method, which is the magic eraser, and that worked great. So I kind of hate to admit how long it's been since I've cleaned from behind our stove. It's probably been at least a year since when I painted the kitchen, when right there you can see where I didn't even paint all the way down behind the stove. It was pretty gross, but honestly not as bad as I was expecting it to be. So after sweeping up all the gross junk, I used my Pine Sol mixture to get any spots that were sort of dry to the floor and then just wiped them up. The grosser spots that I needed to get clean were actually the sides of the stove where things, I guess, had dripped down and dried up from in between like the stove and the counters. This was another place that didn't seem to want to get clean with my usual products, so once again, I am just busting out the magic eraser. Here I just wrapped a butter knife in one of my cleaning rags and then just sort of swiped it in the cracks. It doesn't show well on camera at all, but there was so much gunk built up in there that this really got a lot of stuff out. I promise I've cleaned inside my oven before, but a few weeks ago I baked a pie and I think I messed it up somehow because it seemed like no matter how long I baked it, it just like wouldn't solidify. So when I finally gave up and took it out of the oven, a bunch of the, I guess, batter spilled out of the pan and into the hot oven door where it just burnt on immediately. So I'm just using some Easy Off oven cleaner, spraying it all over all of the surfaces and then letting it sit for about an hour. So this was probably actually about 2 hours later. We had to go pick up my daughter from a birthday party and then her friend came home with us. You'll actually see them pop into the frame a couple of times here in a bit. So the Easy Off worked for the most part, but there was still some really burnt on spots that I had to more or less spot treat. So I grabbed my Barkeeper's Friend soft cleaner and a steel scrubber to get the more stubborn messes. I don't know about you guys, but I honestly only recently learned that Windows could do this, and I have been absolutely amazed. So if you didn't know that Windows could do that either, don't feel bad. I'm 32 and I only just figured it out. Since it's Memorial Day, I wanted to really quickly say thank you to anyone who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice to keep our nation safe. And of course, a quick thank you to their families, because thank you will never be enough. But of course, those who gave everything will never be forgotten. Just wanted to share this really quickly. That's my husband and I on our wedding day back in 2010. We were just 21 when we got married, which seems crazy now. Our first house was just like a little bitty cabin that was in my husband's aunt and uncle's backyard. I think it was only about 500 square feet or so like really, really tiny. We lived there for about 3 years or so, and that's where we brought our daughter home from the hospital when she was born. It's just crazy to think about how far we've come since then. Thank you so much for coming along with me today while we get some insane cleaning done. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel for more cleaning motivation. Have a great and safe Memorial Day, and I will see you again soon. Bye!